Hello and welcome to my Obinna TV. So now I'll start with Diamond Platinums. Why do you think Diamond Platinums is paid so highly? Then can a company, in ideas I look at, how can a company have the resources of a multinational yet have the speed and agility of a startup? So that's all about innovation. Then in American politics, I'll be looking at can diversity and meritocracy coexist? That is, can diversity and meritocracy coexist? Then, in Africa Perspectives or Africa Newspaper Review, a UK MP is calling for the recognition of Somaliland as a separate state. Of course, remember Somaliland broke away from the larger Somalia in 1991. So let's get straight to the crime. So Diamond Platinums is so successful that he is the only East African artist that has grossed over 2 billion views on YouTube. That's Diamond Platnumz. He is the only East African artist that has grossed over 2 billion views on YouTube. Of course, I remember, of course, he is on the same stage as the video Banner Boy, Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid, and of course others such as Shatawala and of course CK. So what makes Diamond Platinum so successful? I think it's one thing. He came recently to Raha Fest. He didn't perform because basically the terms of the contract were not obeyed. So Diamond Platinum had demanded for about had demanded 20 million shillings, but then of course the time of performance is also key. Basically, his time came, and of course they had the altercation with Willie Paul, that is Diamond Platinum. Of course, Willie Straburu said that Diamond Platinum should have shown more professionalism. So of course, only the organizer, the event, the promoter knows what really happened. But why do you think Diamond Platinum charges such high amounts? And not just that, a few days later, he was seen at a high-end wedding in Mombasa. I think a Mombasa tycoon. I think even President Ruto attended that wedding. So basically, for Diamond Platinums, it is as if that if he doesn't get over 20 million shillings in performance fees, then basically he will not grace the occasion. That's Diamond Platinums for you. So basically, and Kenyan musicians basically are paid just like 1 million. I think even the esteemed Kenyan musicians such as I think such as Sauti Sol, they command just 1 million, or even Calligraph Jones. I think he commands just 1 million. Of course, the other day Diamond Platinum, that is Calligraph Jones, showed off his apartment. But of course, you cannot compare that apartment with the crib of Diamond Platinum. So we need music to be paying enough money in Kenya. We need, of course, Eric Omondi is saying we don't support our own, but of course, Sauti Sol argues that the only events that have succeeded in Kenya in 2024 were events in which Kenyan artists perform. So you can see that very much that Diamond Platinums, you can see very much that Diamond Platinum is commanding a huge lead, and I think it will continue to be huge so long as he can, that is, he can perform to the audience. But remember, the other issue about Diamond Platinum is the marketing. He has Wasafi Radio, which promotes his music very much. He has Wasafi Radio. He has Wasafi Records. He records his own music, and so that's how he's able to gel. And Wasafi TV. So basically, he is a whole businessman. And remember, these days, music and business have joined. Look at Rihanna. Rihanna replaced the profile picture of Instagram social media with that of Fenty Beauty. Of course, she teamed up with a French company. That is Rihanna. She teamed up with a French company to be able to promote her music, to promote her line, her beauty cosmetics line, that is Fenty Beauty. So of course, then you can look also at that is Taylor Swift. Basically, Taylor Swift says one of the best things you can do as a musician is to hire a good lawyer. That's what Taylor Swift says. That is one of the best things you can do as a musician is to hire a good lawyer. So that's Taylor Swift, and of course, she is now the richest musician in the world. I think she has a net worth of about $1.6 billion. Of course, she got married into politics. I think she endorsed Joe Biden, but of course, then Biden lost out to Trump, and of course, MAGA adherents of Donald Trump then go to kick her in the butt. But of course, then Taylor Swift, that's a whooping 1.6 billion dollars is her net worth. So basically, can we treat music as business? That's what Kenyan musicians are lacking. We are not treating our music as business. Look at how Kenyan artists are suffering. Someone is paid just 3,000 by MCSK. That's a reality of our whole year, just 3,000. I think it was Calligraph Jones that shared out the screenshot of what he had earned from his royalties from MCSK. So basically, I think of course, we need to play 75% Kenyan music in our sessions. I think it is Saudi Soul who says that basically in Sweden someone can live comfortably off a voiceover. You can imagine that in Sweden, according that's what Saudi Soul was saying, that someone can live comfortably of can live comfortably of a voice over an advert. Someone can live with that for eternity, and I think that shows in Kenya we need to be able to pay artists better. I don't think we pay radio presenters maybe 500,000, 600,000, 1.2 million. I think Jeff Koinange of Citizen TV commands about 2 million shillings per month, but I think that's can a musician get 2 million shillings per month? I think very few musicians get 2 million shillings per month, but others, I think they would have. Others, I think they would have. They would have built cribs with swimming pools. So I think for now, then the best thing to be able to do is to have Kenyan artists that are also successful, because remember there is nothing as bad as being successful yet broke. I think really there is nothing as bad as being successful yet being broke. So that's it. Then I will so Diamond Platnumz. So Kenyan musicians can learn from Diamond Platnumz. 20 million does not come cheap. Imagine if you are paid 20 million, that's a fee for a whole year. Now some Kenyan musicians have drifted to content creation. Look at the Bahatis. Now they do content creation. I'm not saying content creation is bad, but it is music that people knew Bahati by. People knew Bahati by music, not by content creation. But now he has gone over to content creation. So Kenyan artists now are content creators, and that is just so bad. They're not getting the values of money. Of course, Kenyan radio is saying, but I think we need to be able to have music. Well, of course, some are saying Kenyan music does not have quality, but what kind of songs do the likes of Beyonce and Rihanna produce? It's all about sex. It's all about dancing naked. That's what the likes of Rihanna and Beyonce project. You cannot tell me they have higher quality music than Kenya. It's just about love. It's just about sex. It's just about nudity. That is what the likes of Rihanna and Beyonce sell. So you cannot tell me that they have better music. They have better music than Kenya. Then I will move over now to ideas. In ideas, I'll be asking, can a company have the resources of a multinational yet have the speed and agility of a startup? In effect, I'm asking, can a company be too big but also be agile, be innovative? You can see the feature phones. That is, if you are old enough, you remember the feature phones where you could only call and SMS. So those were the hallmark of that is Motorola and Nokia. So then Motorola and Nokia control the feature phones, but they never transitioned to be the market leader in smartphones. That was taken by the likes of iPhone, Apple, and Samsung. Then Apple and Samsung themselves. Then we moved over, and you had IBM, the leader in personal computing software, but in personal computing hardware, it never transitioned to be the leader in personal computing software. That was taken up by Microsoft. Remember, the genius in Bill Gates was that he should be paid by royalties, not a one. Also, he gets paid every time a computer runs on Microsoft. And remember, Bill Gates' vision was to have a computer in every desk in the world, and for that computer to be run by Windows operating system. So, of course, the main cash cows of Microsoft is Windows and Windows operating system and Microsoft Office suite. So that's it. Then Microsoft itself, it never transitioned to be the leader of the internet as such. That was taken up by Google. Of course, Google came up with about 200 factors in which to rank 200 factors in which to rank a website. So basically, that is it. And now Google itself may be outsmarted by AI. Look at ChatGPT. People now don't want an array of answers. They want the correct answer. Now Google is even incorporating AI into its mix. So Google there being the market leader in search, but then maybe being overtaken by ChatGPT or and Google itself came up with their own social media platform, Google Plus, but of course, which was seen as a combination of Facebook and X, but it came a cropper after investment of $1 billion. The project was cut off, and then of course, uh, remember Google had a policy that employees work for 4 days a week, then they work for 4 days a week, then on Friday or one day off, they took one day off to work on their personal project. So that's Google. Basically, now transitioning into social media, and the leaders of social media, X, Facebook, I don't think they will be the leaders of 3D augmented reality, or the person across the screen will seem as though they are in the same room as you. Of course, that will disrupt online learning, online dating, online shopping, online medicine. All of them will be disrupted by that is 3D augmented reality. A person across the screen will seem as though they are in the same room as you. Then from Google, from that, then we can go to so why can a company have be big but also be innovative? But I think it's good for economy. They say no matter how a company is big, it can be taken down. That shows capitalism is working in reassigning resources. So basically, but for business leaders, they will be scared that basically for a company, no matter how big, then it can be taken down. Then from there, we'll move over to in American politics. In American political balance, can diversity and meritocracy coexist? That is, can diversity and meritocracy coexist? Of course, you have a lot of American right, that is Donald Trump supporters, saying that if a minority side, that's a black, is higher, then basically what the white has been passed over. So basically, they feel that blacks are taking over their jobs, minorities are taking over their jobs, but that's not it. Can diversity and meritocracy coexist? And of course, there will be a push against DEI, against diversity, equity, and inclusion. There will be a push against hiring black people, basically because they are deemed as not qualified. Look at Ketanji Brown Jackson. You had a Fox News host asking her, Tucker Carlson asking Ketanji Brown Jackson to supply her LSAT score, that is the admission test for law school. So basically, can meritocracy and diversity coexist? And this is why I think for black people in America, they need to be able to build their own parallel state like Asian Americans have done. Build your own parallel state of urban middle class careers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, accountants, and small business excellence, so that you don't have to depend on this state for everything, so that they promise you heaven but they don't deliver, and everyone looks at you as an affirmative action. And I think you had one of the most esteemed black engineers. You had Daniel Gizas, who was the first black president of the student government body. Daniel Gizas, she will be going to Harvard Law School. She was the first student black president of MIT. So she will be going to Harvard Law School to be studying patent law. She wants to plug the racial innovation gap. And then lastly, in Africa perspectives, a UK MP calls for the recognition of Somaliland. So remember, there are I think three countries in Somalia. There is Somalia, there is Somaliland, and there is Puntland. So basically, a UK MP is calling for the recognition of Somaliland. Somaliland broke away from Somalia in 1991 after the overthrow of the long-term dictator Siad Barre. So basically, and they are calling for the recognition of Somaliland. Remember, as all African countries are trying to become a nation, as states trying to become nations, but then again, Somalia is a nation desperately trying to become a state. So basically, that's the conundrum of African countries. So that's it for now. Where I have looked at Diamond Platinum's 20 million shillings earning, and of course I've looked at ideas can a company be too large, be large but still be innovative and agile. Then in American politics, can diversity and meritocracy coexist? And then in African perspectives, in African newspaper review, a UK MP calls for the recognition of Somaliland as a separate state. So bye for now, till the next time. Bye for now.